Here's the other big conversation we're going to focus on tonight. And this one's regarding Mamata Banerjee and how she seems to hate everything linked to the BJP, the saffron color, or even Lotus, the flower. Now, here's the basic story, viewers. A government primary school in West Bengal's South 24 Parganas landed in trouble over using the symbol of a lotus on the school uniform. Now, that's not actually very common to use these such symbols on the uniforms, but this school decided. The lotus is also the symbol of BJP, as you know. The school claims that they actually took this decision and selected Lotus in 2009 because it's the national flower of our country. However, just now in 2020, a local TMC councillor, along with other TMC party workers, barged into the school and questioned the teachers over this symbol, the choice of this symbol. The teacher in charge was even issued a show cause notice by the state's education department. The school now says they'll change the logo because obviously they don't want any trouble. They don't want to risk getting on the wrong side of the state education department, or the fact that they put the safety of the children at risk. But can you actually imagine a scenario where a choice of logo for the uniform made 10 years ago has now become a point of debate? Some reactions.
तो हम लोग टीचर से पूछा कि आप लोग ऐसे क्या ये सब क्यों किया, तो वो लोग बोला कि नहीं हम लोग चेंज किया है, अभी हम चेंज कर देंगे। हमने ऐसे तो नहीं होता ना, आप तो जो हम लोग का जो चेयरमैन है उसको आप नहीं पता है, आप कोई मीटिंग नहीं किया है, तो आप एक पद्म फूल लगा दिया।
লোগোর প্রবলেম হচ্ছে এলাকাবাসীর একটা ধারণা হয়ে গেছে, যেহেতু একটা রুলিং পার্টির কেন্দ্রীয় রুলিং পার্টির একটা লোগো, সেই লোগোটা মিশে যাচ্ছে, আপত্তি থাকতেই পারে। সেই আপত্তির পরিপ্রেক্ষিতে আমরা চেঞ্জ করে দেবো বলেছি।
পাড়ার লোকেদের তো কোনো আপত্তি নেই, আপনারাই তো স্কুলে গেছিলেন 15-20 জন।
না পাড়ার লোকের আপত্তি নেই ঠিকই, এটা কারণ এইরকমভাবে একটা মানে কি মাস আসেনি বলে অভিযোগটা করেনি। এখন যেহেতু একটু জানাজানি হয়ে গেছে, সবার নলেজে ঢুকে গেছে যে একটা রুলিং পার্টির লোগো এখানটায় স্কুলে চলছে, তো স্কুলে তখন সবাই আপত্তি শুরু করলো। সেই আপত্তি শুরু করার পরিপ্রেক্ষিতে আমরা এই সিদ্ধান্তটা নিই।
আপত্তিটা তো তৃণমূলের লোকজনরা করেছে শুধু।
এখন শুধু তৃণমূলের লোকজন নয়, ওখানে সবাই ছিল, শুধু তৃণমূলের লোকজন, কাছাকাছি লোকেরাও সব উপস্থিত হয়ে গেছিল, তারাও সব ওই সাপোর্ট দিতে শুরু করে দিল।
So that's the basic story. Obviously, the larger conversation is, should Mamata Banerjee now take a step back and introspect and draw the line somewhere? You're painting saffron walls with the party color, you're actually pulling up schools who have Lotus on their uniforms, you're blocking BJP guys from holding rallies, refusing them permission for land and landing for helicopters. Just exactly where will all of this stop? Let's say good evening to Tuhin Sinha, spokesperson for the BJP, Professor Garga Chatterjee, political analyst, he's a TMC supporter, Deshratan Nigam, an RSS supporter, and Shikha Mukherjee, senior journalist, joins us this evening. I actually want to begin with Mr. Garga Chatterjee. Mr. Chatterjee, do you think this is fair? A choice that was made by a school in 2009, oh, suddenly they wake up one day and they are being targeted for that?
As your correspondent in his program, in his recording, said that the local people, number one, were unhappy with this choice of symbol. It is true that it is a symbol of a political party. Schools should not be having symbols of political parties. Vis-a-vis not allowing people to hold rallies, etc., restricting their movement. At any point of time, every month or so, somebody from Delhi, Bhopal, Nagpur, etc., they come to Bengal, they try to hold rallies, and they hold rallies, and they also incite riots, and they also destroy Vidyasagar statues. They do a lot of things, okay? So that is there. On the other hand, when mass massacre of Bengalis take place in Hindu Bengalis, in this case takes place in Assam, when Bengali MP delegation visits Assam, they are manhandled and put back on plane in Silchar. When they try to visit UP, They are also stopped at the airport. So they are fearing something. BJP is in the, they have not also allowed Priyanka Gandhi. It's a larger process. So I think in this issue, it is very clear if you are connecting it to this so-called larger issue, we know who is the criminal here. We know what is the situation in UP. We know that their encounters are the norm of the day.
No, why are we talking about
We know
UP?
that opposition
Focus is
politicians are
Bengal
not allowed
tonight.
freedom of movement.
Lotus is our national flower. They put this symbol in 2009. In 2009, there were barely any signs of BJP rising in Bengal. Why are you blaming the school now?
Precisely. In 2009, it was the it's a state symbol. In 2020 also it is a state symbol, except that in the middle BJP has tried to misuse this sentiment and has tried to use this for political purposes. As you said, local parents and guardians, your correspondent Tamal Shah asked, was it only Trinamool people? Wasn't it only, he asked a leading question, was it only Trinamool people who protested? And the answer was very clear, no, it was not only Trinamool people, it was local parents and guardians who also did not want all of this. Because schools should be free of this kind of encumbrances or this kind of controversies, the places of learning.
In that case, then Tuhin, maybe you should make this school your brand ambassadors in West Bengal. They clearly seem to be working for you even before, BJP hires them.
Tanvi, the Lotus, apart from being the BJP's party symbol, and apart from being the national flower of India, is also an extremely pious and ancient symbol of our civilization. It is considered auspicious because it blooms in the muddy conditions, in the morbid conditions which are created in Bengal, thanks to TMC, where its own party symbol, which is another flower, a wild flower called Jora Ghas Phool, can never bloom because the lotus appears far superior. But this entire attitude of TMC reeks of abject despondency, frustration and intolerance. In fact, in the last 9 months, the violence that they have unleashed on BJP Karyakartas seems to now have extended to schools and to private citizens. That's all I can say, because in 2009, as you yourself mentioned, if that symbol was acquired in 2009, if the school has been using that symbol since 2009, and for the last 11 years nobody had any objections, then how come all of a sudden TMC goons, decide to raise objections, to prevent and issue warnings to the school? This just shows the kind of gunda culture which TMC has created in Bengal. In fact, in November, during the assembly polls, we saw how our Karimpur MLA, the candidate, was beaten up just because he was the candidate over there. And now that same behavior seems to be extending to, the TMC seems to be extending that same behavior to private individuals and to schools, which is absolutely shameful.
Okay, let me ask Shikha Mukherjee what her view is on this story. Shikha Mukherjee, is this taking the competition with the Kamal party too far?
Well, I think that the Trinamool has been very sensitive about the Lotus and schools, because there was a similar incident sometime back in just under a year ago in North Bengal in Siliguri. It is also true that Mamata Banerjee has been super sensitive to the BJP's emergence as a challenger to her party and to her regime, because if you recall, about a year ago, just after the Lok Sabha elections, in fact, Mamata Banerjee hopped out of a car furious that there were these crowds which were standing on the road and shouting Jai Shri Ram. Having said that, let me also say that Mamata Banerjee is not alone in sort of reacting in rather bizarre ways for a political leader of her stature to a Jai Shri Ram or the Trinamool party reacting the way it has to the school in Boral in South Chobbish Pargana. Let me also say that there was the school in Bidar, which did a little event where
Correct.
the mother was sent off to jail for organizing what she did. I mean, isn't that overreaction? When we are
Absolutely.
talking about violence by political parties, the way in which they use violent language, the way in which they incite violence, the way in which they provoke violence, I cannot forget that very recently in Delhi, that Goli Maro incitement did actually produce 2 or 3 characters who were brandishing guns and aiming it at people
Right. No, so
who were
when
not
the Bidar
armed.
incident
So
happened,
it just does seem to be a kind of epidemic which is running without control across the country of political parties using language which is violent, instigating people, cadres of their own parties, to indulge in violence and then defending these cadres for having used the violence.
well, then the Mamata Banerjee, who claims to take a higher moral ground, then the BJP is no different. The TMC seems to be playing exactly the same game as the other political parties. When the Bidar sedition case happened, we highlighted and we raised the questions about how this should be, this can be acceptable. How can this happen where parents and teachers are getting arrested? Similarly, Mr. Nigam, this too seems to be taking it a little bit too far. I mean, is she getting a little paranoid about the rise of the BJP? On one hand, she gets out of the car, starts, sermonizing people who are chanting Jai Shri Ram slogans. On the other hand, her party workers are objecting to Lotus being used on school uniforms.
See, the fact is, Lotus means growth, purity, and birth. And probably she's worried about BJP's rise and growth in West Bengal. Yes, she's got lotus phobic. I've heard the word called Hindu phobic from certain quarters, but she's more specific. She's lotus phobic, and this symbol is, as rightly pointed out by Tuhin, is as ancient as time. And it is not only a part of Indian civilization, but Egypt, Syria, and many European countries where this lotus flower is considered very, holy. And therefore, this is beyond BJP. This is not about BJP. BJP's political symbol may be the lotus, the kamal, but the fact remains this is, nobody has the intellectual property right over this symbol, and it is owned by people. And therefore, to go to that extent is something that she knows that the ground is shifting from, below her feet. And probably such kind of a reaction will further cement the lotus in West Bengal. And she has to realize she has also the symbol of a flower. And therefore, at least if somebody respects your flower and does not, says it should not be used in Delhi and other parts of India, at least accord the same kind of a respect to the flower in general. And let me tell you, this is in existence since long before BJP came into existence. So respect Indian civilization, even if you don't have any respect for BJP. And therefore, please don't link the two. At least be magnanimous enough to realize your own roots, which are very much Indian. And therefore, to categorize between flowers is not expected of a leader of the stature of Mamata Banerjee. But then, what you see in West Bengal today is chaos and anarchy. And the killing of the RSS workers and the BJP workers in West Bengal is on the rise, in fact, and promoted by TMC and actively participated by TMC. And I think Home Ministry, which is under Mamata Banerjee out there, is got to take responsibility of the chaos and anarchy which is taking place and the minority appeasement which is going on. I mean, she doesn't ban something like Allahu Akbar, but she has to ban Lotus because she is trying to, appease a certain section of population, trying to get those votes. But however, that particular section is smart enough to make smart choices. And probably Mamata Banerjee knows that something is happening among the population of West Bengal.
Mr. Nigam, you know it and I know it. that this is only going to worsen in the run-up to the, as we get closer to the state elections, this face-off, the violence on ground, and frankly, I don't think, one party is worse or better than the other when it comes to playing the same tactics. I think both are equally adept at utilizing some of these tactics. Before I get a response from Garga on this, Shikha Mukherjee wanted to come in. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I do object to facts being distorted. And the fact that the Lotus has been banned in West Bengal, where did Mr. Nigam get that from? It hasn't been banned as far as I know. And I'm sure he knows that
banned.
too.
I'm not saying banned. I'm saying Lotus phobic.
And the other thing is
I
that,
use the word Lotus phobic.
The idea of the Lotus being European or Middle Eastern or whatever, it's Buddhist. I mean, it's deeply, deeply associated with all the countries where Buddhism is practiced. And therefore, I think the universality of the
it is prior to Buddhism.
Is a symbol
it is prior to Buddhism.
Whatever. I mean, of some kind of deep emotional significance for large numbers of people is recognized. What is in question at this point in time is not civilization, it is not culture, it is not the iconography and the archaeology of the civilizations, but what is in question is the kind of reaction that the Trinamool workers had for suddenly they woke up to the fact that there was a school which had a uniform, which had a lotus embroidered on a pocket as a mark of identity. And it seems to have triggered off this peculiar reaction that is to be condemned. But to suggest that West Bengal has banned the Lotus is
so Mr. Nigam says
but it's a distortion of a huge magnitude.
Not banning the Lotus, but there is definitely some Lotus phobia.
Can I come in?
Yes, that Mamata Banerjee seems to be suffering from, or the TMC workers are suffering from. Garga Chatterjee, respond to that.
Can I respond? Can I respond?
Okay, Mr. Nigam, go ahead, please.
See, I never said banned. I said Lotus phobic. I said that we have heard about Hindu phobic, but this is further taking it down. I said Lotus phobic.
We are not irresponsible people to make irresponsible
No, I said Lotus phobic. No, you did make. I used the word Lotus phobic very specifically and categorically.
But may I just point out that both of you agree that there is some deep meaning, and linkage that we have with the flower lotus, and it doesn't have to necessarily be limited to just being a symbol for the BJP. Because by that logic, Professor Garga Chatterjee, Mamata Banerjee should stay away from Kamal Hassan also. There is Kamal in his name, but she seems to be very good friends with him.
What does Kamal Hassan
I don't know. You don't like the Kamal sign on uniforms. How are you okay with Kamal Hassan? He has it in his name.
What is Kamal sign?
Lotus.
What is Kamal sign? I don't understand.
Never mind. My question to you is, isn't it taking it too far if you start removing Lotus from every visible place? That's not really going to help you win the battle against the BJP.
No. I did not understand. No, I understand. What is this Kamal Hassan business? I did not understand.
It's in his name. Since you are so averse to Kamal, it's in his name. How come you're not averse to him?
What is Kamal?
Lotus.
What is Kamal?
You know the BJP symbol that you hate so much?
In what language?
Can I explain to him? I think he needs some explaining.
Yes, Mr. Tuhin Sinha, please.
You know the beauty,
Lotus.
Tanvi, you know the beauty about the lotus flower?
Yes, please. No, I do not need a lecture about the beauty of the lotus flower. What is this Kamal business? I don't understand. What is this Kamal? Lotus. In what language is lotus called Kamal?
Tuhin, do you want
I am
to
asking you.
Should I allow me to explain
Yes,
to him?
please do.
By 3 words.
It's a very specific query.
Yeah,
After that, I will start
the
responding
lotus,
to the
unlike
more broader
other
issues. But since I
can I explain now?
With this
Unlike
I need to know
Unlike
from which
other
language
flowers,
this
you know, the
Kamal
beauty
word
about the lotus
is
is
there.
that
I do not need a lecture on
it blooms.
characteristics of lotus.
Oh, come on, Professor Garga
I
Chatterjee.
do
Now
not need a
stop
lecture
That's your
pretending to
problem.
be
If
so
you
naive.
want
Get to
to
the
know,
point
you
that
can
you want
demand
to
answers
make.
from
I've humored
whoever
you
is
long
willing to
enough.
answer you.
Professor Garga
I'm not
Chatterjee, do you
obligated
want
to
to
answer your
respond or not?
questions.
The question is very simple. Mamata Banerjee seems to be taking it a
only
little bit too
explaining to
far.
me.
She's
That's the
averse
whole-
to Jai Shri Ram.
that's the
She's
whole
averse to
relevance.
everything saffron. She's averse to lotus, the kamal flower. Where are you going to stop? This is, if you think this will help you win against the BJP, it probably won't. You need to focus on people politics, not symbolism. Do you understand that much, or are you going to pretend you don't even
Okay.
understand this now?
First of all, no. It is your pretension that you will use any random language for lotus and expect everybody to understand what is your random language is a sort of understanding of the diversity of India which you should update, number one.
Thanks for your
Lotus
lecture,
flower
but
is
I think
called
by now
Padma Phool in
everybody
Bengal.
understands the
It
meaning
is
of
not a
Kamal.
random language.
Keep your language politics outside of this conversation, please. Considering your hatred you and your party have for the lotus symbol and everything associated with it, you know what it means.
You are not a psychoanalyst, neither a psychologist. So what I speak is what you have to take at face value and vice versa.
Okay.
So what I know or what people know, please do not be a Nostradamus about it.
Okay, I hope you've learned the
number
meaning
one.
today.
Secondly, it is also true. Second, it is I still not clear in what language, what is this common
Make your
business,
point. Go
common
ahead,
Assam
please.
you mentioned also. I got very confused because it is a it may be funny for you being a Hindi speaker or Urdu speaker, probably this word is from that language because this sort of entitlement comes from that only. So what I was trying to say to the comments that Deshratan
It is
Nigam
not
made
from Urdu
a
language.
little while ago, he made a slew of charges. It is Urdu and Hindi are the same language, boss. Okay, so now Deshratan
No, I'll
Nigam
tell you. Just finish it off and then I'll
certain
educate
points,
myself and
okay,
you.
which are evident.
Yes, Garga Chatterjee, finish your point first.
I will tell you one thing that when I will
No,
tell,
stick to
I
the
will
point
tell,
of the
tell
debate.
one thing. And Deshratan Nigam said something. Let me speak first. Deshratan Nigam said something about the BJP workers being killed, etc., etc. In this Goebbelsian sense, if they keep repeating this lie, this was exposed very well by a NDTV program where they actually saw that most of these names were false. They had nothing to do with Trinamool or a political killing at all. They have been exposed on this question, but still they go on. In fact, one of the genuine cases where a political murder sadly had happened, the person who was the murderer, Monirul Islam, has joined BJP and is now seen in the vicinity of Amit Shah and Dilip Ghosh, West Bengal State BJP President. So this is their commitment to their fallen workers. Okay. Number two, say the Lotus phobic, etc. I should also inform that West Bengal has performed among the top 5 states in horticultural expansion and export, and Lotus is among our 5 top exports in the agricultural sector. So if anything, the real lotus flower and not its macabre political form is actually expanding in Bengal. Okay. Number 3, and they are also talking about Hindu, etc.
Can I?
Okay, this is a time when in Assam, Bengal, can I little later, okay, let me finish. This is a time when Hindus in detention camps in Assam, Hindu Bengalis in detention camps in Assam have been denied getting out even after passage of CAA. Many people have died inside detention camps. They are Hindu Bengalis, but BJP does not care for them because they are not only Hindus, they are also Bengalis. In places after places, just after the election, and it is still ongoing, they have bombarded Bengali homes using Bihar and UP goons like Arjun Singh. They have done this.
Are we on a
Show me
wrong
one
debate?
example
What are we debating
when some
over here?
Bengali thug or a Bengali mafia is bombing people.
Oh.
Arey, chup karo na bhai. Let me
No,
finish.
no. I must give it to you.
Are
Garga
bombing
Chatterjee, I must give it to
places
you.
in Bihar.
You
Or
have
can
an amazing skill.
Or can you show?
Or you
Let
have
me
an
finish.
amazing skill, Garga
Let me
Chatterjee. I
finish.
must give it to you of
Let me
bringing
finish.
every debate
Please let me
conversation to
finish,
this
then
point.
you can congratulate me on my skill.
Yes, I am.
Let me
It's
finish.
amazing how you manage to
Let me
talk about
finish.
detention centers and NRC in every single debate.
Can you imagine?
But this is not the debate. And
Right.
we've had so many of those and you've
Right.
been on those debates.
I am also amazed.
I am asking you
I-
today, if there is so much of
I
love
am
for
also
Lotus,
amazed.
then why
I
is
am-
it a
I-
problem
I
if
am
a
also
uniform
amazed.
has it as a
I am-
symbol?
I am
And do
also
you
amazed.
today condemn or not the way the TMC guys went
I am
inside
also-
that school
Arey baba re, bolte debe na.
and harassed them? I understand a little bit of Bengali, little bit.
Let me finish.
Can I
See,
come
I
in?
took the liberty because I was also amazed that on a topic on
This is an endless
flower
monologue. Can I
symbol,
respond? Can't be an endless
RSS
monologue like
person
this.
Deshratan Nigam
Yeah.
spoke about minority appeasement, and you did not find that irrelevant. Okay, I did not see why that was relevant. If that is relevant, and lastly for Deshratan Nigam, one thing. In Bihar, Bengalis do not have the guts to basically surround Bihar CM's car or UP CM's car and harass him. Okay.
There was no
Remember
harassment
this,
which was
number one, and
happening.
number
Now you
two,
are
when Narendra Modi
mixing
gives a
facts
speech
with some kind of paranoia. There was no harassment that was happening at that point of time. So let's not get into that, please. Now Tuhin Sinha wants to make a point, and then Mr. Nigam. Garga, listen. Garga Chatterjee, listen to what the other side has to say. Yes.
Let me.
Tuhin wants to respond.
I don't believe in. Yes.
Last one sentence.
I don't believe in obfuscating, so I will keep my points very precise and sharp.
Narendra Modi speaks. Okay. When Narendra Modi, when Lal Kella he is speaking,
Enough. Okay, so
he is understood by larger
can I
proportion of
finally
people
come
in
and see?
Pakistan than in
You
India.
know, I've heard
Yes.
a long
Yes, I want to hear
monologue
what
which
Tuhin Sinha has to say. Professor Garga
has no
Chatterjee.
relevance to what we are discussing
Professor
right
Garga
now.
Chatterjee, listen to the other side. Tuhin Sinha, please.
I heard, I've heard a very long monologue which had no relevance to what we are discussing today. I would rather keep my points very precise over here. Number one, the beauty of a lotus flower is that unlike other flowers which require a lot of nourishment, which require a lot of, work, will you have the basic courtesy, or should I teach you that also, Mr. Garga Chatterjee? Did I speak when you were speaking? Please have that basic courtesy and manners. So, the beauty of a lotus flower is that unlike other flowers, it does not require any nourishing. It grows despite the conditions, and unfortunately, the conditions which have been created by TMC in Bengal, the morbid, the murky conditions that are conducive to the growth of lotus. And unfortunately, the lotus, which should be a symbol of purity, is giving jitters and giving nightmares to the TMC. And why is it giving nightmares to the TMC? Because the TMC is extremely guilty of what it has done in the last 8 months. I'm in constant touch with the state unit. From May itself, after the general elections, at least 92 BJP workers have been killed across the state. More than 2,000 BJP workers have been detained illegally. We saw what happened in the bypolls to 3 assembly constituencies in November, where one of our candidates was beaten up black and blue just because he was contesting on a BJP ticket. This is the guilt which makes TMC worry about the Lotus. This is the guilt which gives them nightmares when they see a Lotus. That is the truth.
Yes, Garga Chatterjee, do you want to respond to that? And then the final comments from
Tanvi?
Deshratan Nigam.
In Kathua, we have seen lotus symbol people raping young children. In Urna, we have seen lotus people, killing a whole family and gang raping and doing these things. In various parts, we have seen lotus people saying that...
So you want to ban lotus symbol?
Going on.
Do you want to ban lotus symbol from West Bengal? Is that what you're saying?
Lotus... No. Lotus is...
It's a very nice flower.
No. No, I'm saying that we are increasing the production of the very nice flower, real lotus, but the association of this lotus symbol embroidered onto things has taken a very ugly meaning under this party.
Okay, Mr.
Also,
Nigam wants to tell you a
because
little bit
Queen
more
Sina is
about...
in constant touch with his local unit, etc., as he claims. As he claims. Let me give a challenge to him.
Okay,
Twin
your
Sina
challenge
should
to
name
number of
one
BJP
BJP
RSS
person who has
casualties.
been killed in West Bengal in the last 2 months.
Yes.
He will not be able to name it. He will not be able to name it.
Yes.
Without Googling and etc. That is his touch with Bengal.
Okay.
No, those are BJP's claims. Our viewers would know
Name
to
one
take it
person to
with a
him.
pinch of salt. Those are no
Name one person
authority,
in the last 2 months.
government, probe agencies' claims. BJP has repeatedly made those claims. We
3
don't have
months,
evidence. Suffice to
4
say there have
months,
been violent clashes with
2 months, 3
casualties
months, 4
and
months.
fatalities
Name one person
and
to
brutal
him.
murders
Name
and
one
hangings
person
on
who has
both
been
sides.
killed, a BJP
And West
worker who
Bengal
has
is
been
very well
killed in
aware
West
of how
Bengal
this
in the
plays
last
out,
4 months. Name
whether
one
it was in the
person.
left era or now in the
You do not
TMC
know the
era.
name.
Mr. Nigam,
Because
please.
there is
Mr.
no
Nigam.
such name.
See, ask him to be quiet. He's blabbering all the
Twin,
time.
please Google now.
Let me be very clear. I think the Garga Chatterjee has been talking about everything except this topic and the cut money that we are aware of. And secondly, let me also, don't interrupt, and let me also tell him the actual meaning. The meaning in Sanskrit are three folds in about the lotus. One is Padma, which is a pink lotus. One is Kamal, which is a red lotus, and Utpala, which is a blue lotus. So don't call it Sanskrit a strange language. Please update yourself. Kamal is a word used in Sanskrit for red lotus. And pink lotus is known as Padma, and Utpal is known as blue lotus. So educate yourself and don't try to mislead people. Yes, increase the production of Kamal, that you're most welcome to, plus also behave accordingly.
Okay, I want to very quickly get a comment in from Shikha Mukherjee before we wrap this up.
From nowadays. Let Narendra Modi speak Sanskrito.
Mr. Garga Chatterjee,
Amit
this is not a
Narendra Modi
debate
should
about
talk in
language.
Sanskrit.
Why
I
are you
would
so...
like to see that.
Stop
Why are you so upset
disrespecting
about
national
language?
symbols.
We have increased the production of lotus. That is the reality. And we will decrease the production of lotus that is associated with the Unnao and Kathua rapes. We will do it.
Okay,
Stop.
all right.
My only request and plea to the TMC is stop disrespecting national symbols. Would you have a problem today if a school decides to use the symbol of a the national animal, Royal Bengal tiger? You won't have an objection. So learn to respect national symbols. That's all we are expecting from you.
Okay, point well made. Shikha Mukherjee, to you before we wrap this up, because it's only going to get more and more intense and ugly from here on up to the state elections as the BJP and TMC lock horns. But suffice to say that both sides are equally adept at playing this dirty game.
Oh, yes, indeed they are. I mean, if you compare Goli Maro with something else, or India-Pakistan match, or that current lag jayega and all that stuff. I mean, it's violence. This is violence of language, and the idea of violence is now being sort of celebrated by regimes, which is an indication that lower down the line, Trinamool workers will find a reason to go to suddenly wake up one morning and find that a school has a lotus as part of its uniform and then take objection to it. So these are very, very volatile and violent times. What is also true is that the BJP and the Trinamool are going to very quickly up their ante. It's already up. It's already dangerously up. But it's going to get even more dangerous because the municipal elections are going to start sometime in April. And from April onward, there's going to be a continuous kind of competitive, violent, and very brutal politics that we're going to see in West Bengal. This is just one tiny little incident where, thankfully, there was not much violence.
Violence, I mean, Bengal and politics and violence unfortunately go hand in hand. One can only hope that this time around things improve, that there is law and order which is maintained, and both sides keep that in mind. But already you are seeing allegations being made about violence being unleashed from the other side. I'm going to thank all of our panelists for joining us right now. But let me just give you a sense of, the other things that Mamata Banerjee has done to give you a peek into how much she is averse to the idea of saffron and Lotus. And sometimes I feel she takes it too far. She should take on the BJP on an ideological manner. She should take on the BJP in a government and governance manner, and all of that is fine. But when she goes around painting the TMC symbol on a BJP office, which is with saffron walls, and then she actually and that was allegedly part of this recapturing the TMC offices, that's not really cool. When she shouts and sermonizes locals who are chanting Jai Shri Ram and actually gets out of her car to stop and really pull them up, that's not okay. When she denies landing permission for governor's helicopter for an event, well, that just makes you sound as if you have some kind of agenda or vendetta in your mind. It's all right to oppose the CAA. You passed a resolution in Bengal, but essentially as long as CAA is a law, the states have to follow it, because it's a central law. Then she resorts to tactics like denying permissions for rallies of Amit Shah and Yogi Adityanath, denying permissions for BJP's Rath Yatra. Those are some of the ways where she's taken on the BJP, not just politically, but in other instances, which I think now she's taken too far with this school. A lotus as a symbol on a uniform, perhaps not advisable, but the school decided to do that in 2009. So what were the TMC councillors and the workers doing for the last 11 years? Why is it now that suddenly people have begun to object to it? Think about it. Completely out of time. Thank you for joining us on this conversation. With just 5 days left for US President Donald Trump to land in India, preparations are on in full swing in Gujarat, which is where he lands first. Elaborate arrangements are underway at Ahmedabad to welcome President Trump and First Lady Melania. Ahead of his visit, Trump's car and luggage have already arrived in India on Monday. US President is expected to jointly inaugurate the Motera Stadium, a brand new, extremely large stadium in Ahmedabad. In fact, it's the world's biggest cricket stadium. And he'll be attending an event there on the lines of what we saw with Howdy Modi when Prime Minister Narendra Modi was actually in Houston last year. Now, an NGO called the Catch Foundation has painted the wall that's leading up to the Motera Stadium with eco-friendly messages. Here's a special report.
You and I, as the jingle goes, and you and I is US and India, Donald Trump and Narendra Modi. These paintings have been made on a wall that is leading up to the Motera Stadium and will be one of the last pieces of the road that will be seen by the dignitaries arriving. And this has been done by an NGO. We have with us Akshay Pandey from Catch Foundation. Sir, ये आपने क्या initiative कब आपने सोचा कि ये करना चाहिए?
Madam, we from Catch Foundation are working in this area for last 5 to 6 years actually. Our theme has been to keep the Motera clean and keep it green actually. So towards cleanliness we have taken certain initiative. The initiative, like no plastic use, segregation of waste. So there are two major initiatives which run across the Motera and Chandkheda with the help of all the people around the societies.
And beautification is part of that?
And beautification is part of that. Another major initiative we have taken last couple of years is the plantation actually. We call it a plantainance because we not only plant the trees but we also maintain the trees actually. And if you see this Motera and Chandkheda relatively, it is much more planted as compared to many part of. So
why did you think that you need to actually do this entire painting? Because we can see that not just Catch Foundation, there is of course Swachh Bharat that you have tried to talk about. You have kept all these various species of wildlife on each letter of this particular Motera that you have painted.
To be very honest, to know the motto of our Catch Foundation, it is like creating awareness to change habit. Catch stands for that actually. So through all the paintings, not that you have done this painting, we have covered almost 10 to 11 walls around this area where all the painting related to Swachhata, segregation and no plastic use has been done actually. We are very happy today because this particular road, on this particular road, you know, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Donald Trump are visiting actually, and this wall was falling onto this route actually.
Right.
So I thought this was one of the great opportunity for us to again convey the same message, the message of Swachhata, the message of greenery, plantation.
This is the entire team that you see of Catch Foundation that has been working on this project. They have been planting trees, they have been spreading social messages, and this entire stretch of wall you can see has been painted very beautifully by them with various social messages, be it about using reusable bags, be it about planting trees, be it about patriotism. So all of these messages have been put across. You can see that they're still painting. The material is still around here. Around a 3-kilometer stretch is what they are going to be painting, is what we are being told. Some of the work has been done, some of it is still under progress, and this will be one of the last stretches of road that President Trump and Prime Minister Modi will be seeing before they enter the Motera Stadium.
However, not everybody is celebrating President Trump's visit. Residents of a slum less than 3 kilometers away from Motera Stadium have been served with an eviction notice just days before President's arrival. Now, the residents are claiming that some of them have been living there for the past 20 years.
We are near some of the Kacha slums that are near Motera, around 2.5 kilometers from Motera Stadium near Srishti Arcade, and some of these families, 45 of the 150 families that live here, have been served notices, and these notices say that they have to evacuate in the next 7 days, otherwise there will be action taken against them. And this is the first time these people say that in the last 10 to 15 years that they have been living here, that these kind of notices have been given. It is suspected that the notices are because Motera Stadium is where President Trump's event is to be held. We will speak to some of these people. Ben, તમને ક્યારે નોટિસ આવી અને શું કીધું તમને?
हमने काले नोटिस आपी तो हमने क्या किया था, झुपड़पट्टा हटाई लो, तो हमें झुपड़पट्टा हटाई क्या ले जाइए हम, तो हमें कहीं भी हम रेवानी व्यवस्था करो तो हमें हटाइए, नहीं तो हमें भले तो हमें लोडर सड़ाव देसो नहीं तो भी हमें कहीं था जाइए नहीं. हमारा छोकरा भी यहाँ भणवा मुकेला भणवा जाए અને અમે બંગલાનું કામ કરીએ, રોડનું બહારવાનું કામ કરીએ, બધું સાફ સફાઈનો ધંધો हम કરીએ, પછી અમારે રહેવાની વ્યવસ્થા કરો તો અમે જઈએ ને તો ન જઈએ.
આટલા લોકો અહીંયા છે, 100-150 પરિવાર છે તમારા હિસાબથી, તો મને કહેજો કે આટલા વર્ષમાં કદી તમને કીધું છે આવું કંઈ?
અત્યાર સુધી કોઈ કંઈ નથી કીધું. અહીંયાથી 25-30 વર્ષથી રહી છે બધા, પણ અત્યાર સુધી કોઈને નોટિસ નહીં કે કોઈને દબાણ પણ નહીં.
તમે જો એ લોકોને પૂછ્યું તો એ લોકો શું જવાબ આપે?
એ લોકોને પૂછ્યું કે એ લોકો કહે છે કે 7 દિવસમાં ખાલી કરો, નકર તમે ખાલી નહીં કરો તમે બુલડોઝર લઈને ચડાવી દઈશું.
અને નક્કી એ લોકોએ કીધું કે મોદી આવે છે અને ટ્રમ્પ આવે છે?
એ બધું એ કંઈ કીધું જ નથી. મોદી ટ્રમ્પનું એ કંઈ કીધું નહીં. એ જ કહે કે તમે અહીંયાથી હટી જ જાઓ.
Acha. So the interesting part about this entire thing is that technically this doesn't fall in the route as of now that has been decided of where Modi and Trump will be passing through to go to Motera. But given the fact that for the last 15-20 years they have been living here, but never have they been served these notices, the residents feel that they are being removed because it could be an eyesore. Their kacha houses could be an eyesore in case the cavalcade passes through here, and also could be seen as some sort of a security risk perhaps by the Secret Service or some other agencies. This is a surmise that they have come to, but officially the notice does not talk about it, nor has anyone officially told them that they are being moved because of the Trump visit. But given the fact that they have been given a 7-day period instead of a longer period to remove themselves from here, it does seem that the Trump visit has had an impact.
Time for a quick break. On the other side, we get you all the updates on coronavirus. Stay with us. Here's the latest update on coronavirus. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman reviewed the impact of this disease on various sectors in our country today and said that the government will announce measures soon. She also admitted that several sectors were concerned over the supply from China amid rising fears of the extent of economic impact of this deadly virus.
See, at this stage, I don't want to get into too much of a detail, but broadly, for instance, manufacturing sector who depends on raw material to come from China are worried that some of them have been receiving their stocks, but because the necessary paperwork is not coming from China, their stocks are being held here in the ports. The request was, can customs take a self-declaration or some kind of a statement from them and release the stocks? That could be one of the things which came up for a manufacturing company. There was also this question of, many others saying, can we look at other sources of, sourcing of raw materials, on which the industry, together with the CIA and FICCI and so on, will be talking with the concerned ministries. So such specific problems of industries have come.
My colleague Ayushman Kumar also spoke to the General Secretary of the Pharmaceutical Raw Material Dealers Association, who said that since the outbreak, import from China has stopped, because of which there is now a shortage of certain drugs in India. He added that the price of raw materials for some of the products has gone up almost by 40 to 50%.
With China witnessing a coronavirus outbreak, the supply of raw materials from China to India has taken a hit, and that has actually seen a jump in the prices of the essential medicine that we witness in our country. And I'm being joined by one of the member of Pharmaceutical Raw Material Dealer Association. Sir, क्या कुछ हुआ है अभी रॉ मटेरियल की अगर बात करें तो भारत में दाम हम देख रहे हैं कि बढ़ रहा है, ये कैसे हो रहा है, इसकी कुछ टेक्निकलिटीज़ आप हमें बता सकें तो?
एक्चुअली पिछले 1 महीने से जब से कोरोना वायरस का ये पैनिक आया है तो चाइना से माल आना बिल्कुल बंद हो गया है, जिसके कारण धीरे धीरे इंडिया में भी माल की शॉर्टेज होती जा रही है। अभी पीछे एक रिपोर्ट आई थी कि जो हिमाचल की ड्रग इंडस्ट्री है उसके पास सिर्फ 1 महीने की इन्वेंट्री बची है, जैसा कि न्यूज़पेपर में आया था एक बार, और इसी कारण माल ना होने की वजह से धीरे धीरे शॉर्टेज होती जा रही है। इस कारण माल के APIs के और नॉन एक्टिव के भी जितने भी रॉ मटेरियल्स हैं उनके प्राइस 40 to 50% इंक्रीज़ हो चुके हैं, जिसका इम्पैक्ट अब पूरी तरह से मेडिसिन मार्केट पर नज़र आने लगा है, स्पेशली जेनेरिक मेडिसिन पर।
सर, जो स्टॉक की आप बात कर रहे हैं, हमारे पास अभी इन्वेंट्री में कितना स्टॉक है, और अगर बात करें हम APIs की तो क्या वो एसेंशियल ड्रग्स हैं जो कि इफेक्ट हो रहे हैं या फिर इन टोटलिटी सभी ड्रग्स इफेक्ट हो रहे हैं?
ओवरऑल इन्वेंट्री मैं समझता हूँ जैसे 1 महीने निकल गया, अगले 1.5-2 महीने तक कंज्यूमर तक कोई इम्पैक्ट नहीं पहुँचेगा, लेकिन अगर 2 महीने और ऐसे ही निकलते हैं तो शायद फिर आगे कंज्यूमर को भी दिक्कत आएगी, क्योंकि 3 महीने की इन्वेंट्री कम से कम हमारी कंट्री में रहती है, 3-4 लेवल पर इन्वेंट्री रहती है, तो 3 महीने तक निकल सकते हैं, लेकिन अब 1 महीना निकल चुका है, तो अगले अगर 2 महीने और ऐसा निकल जाते हैं इसी तरह से, या चाइना से ओपन नहीं होता है बिजनेस, तो डेफिनेटली 2 महीने बाद बहुत दिक्कत आने वाली है।
Meanwhile, 2 more Indian crew members on board the quarantine ship have tested positive for coronavirus. With this, now there are about 6 Indians who have been infected. 99 more passengers also tested positive, taking the total number of infected people just on this ship to 455. Diamond Princess, the Japanese ship, was quarantined on February 3rd in Yokohama near Tokyo. Since then, several Indians have appealed for help through SOS video messages. And latest on the Jamia violence case that's under investigation, the Delhi police today filed a charge sheet in the 15 December Jamia New Friends Colony violence case. Now, in the charge sheet, viewers, no Jamia student has been named. Essentially, in the first round of investigation, the Delhi police has not managed to find even a single student who they can name was part of the violence that took place. They have gone on to, though, name JNU student Sharjil Imam for delivering speeches a couple of days before this violence, which were instigating. The police says they're still probing the CCTV and statements of over 100 witnesses that have been attached as evidence. Alok, in fact, is joining me with more. Alok, so that's the first question and the only question. The police beat up students, blamed them for the violence, but couldn't name even a single one in the charge sheet.
Yes, absolutely. And it's an interesting development happened because now the police has filed the charge sheet, and it was a major case that happened last month where several students who got injured. But in the charge sheet, if you see that there are three important points that is coming out. That one is they have named Sharjeel Imam. Sharjeel Imam was earlier not named in the FIR, but his name cropped up during the course of investigation because his sedition cases came out, and earlier Delhi Police Crime Branch had booked him under the case of sedition, and they have arrested him. But now they found out that because he made speeches on 13th of December, just 2 days before. So that is why they have said that he instigated the mob that collected outside the Jamia, and then they indulged in violence. So that is why he has been booked. Now he has been sent for 14 days of judicial custody. Apart from that, they have also mentioned the PFI angle, that the PFI is the Popular Front of India. This is an organization, and remember that in Uttar Pradesh, PFI members were arrested in various cases. And now the third point, very interesting, is that they have not named any Jamia student. However, the police says that
so,
the Jamia
Alok, there is the other
interesting
part, and we've been bringing out these videos, and you've sourced those videos for us about the violence inside the Jamia campus. Now, we understand that today, actually, the a police team visited the campus and did some basic investigation. What can you tell us about that?
Yes, that is also a very interesting thing happened today. And remember, this is the first visit of the Delhi Police Crime Branch SIT that was formed to investigate the whole Jamia violence. And this is the first visit what we are getting to know, because the 2 months have passed, but they did not pay any visit. But now, just after the videos, evidences now coming out of violence inside the campus, so now they have started doing it. Today, Rajesh Dev, DCP, who is of the crime branch, he along with his teammates went, and he in fact spoken to a proctor, and he also in fact talked to some of the students. However, no formal statement has been recorded of the students, but he also visited the library room where the violence happened, where the videos that we are showing, that also place that they visited, they also photographed those places also. So as a part of their investigation, as a part of their evidences, they are collecting. So now we can say that now the police has moved to investigate the violence that happened inside the campus.
All right. Alok, thanks so much for tracking that case closely and bringing us these updates. And with that, we're completely out of time on this edition of the Urban Debate.